Hey Brenda, Dennis Feidner. I figured it's easier to show you the accounting reports than to try and print out a whole bunch of different ones. So um, I'm just going to kind of roll through them here. So trial balance. Obviously, you have the option for what periods you want to work with. It's on all reports. Nice feature is if you can skip any accounts that don't have a balance in it. And so I'm just going to kind of pop this up real quick. So there it is. Trial balance beginning and ending. Okay. Up here in the top right hand corner, I'm going to kind of work right to left, kind of backwards. I can print them to paper. I can preview them. That's what this little magnifying glass is. I can dump it out to Excel if I want to. You probably would never dump them out to Word. I can just actually create a PDF with them, or I can just click my Outlook button. It would open up my Outlook email and attach the financial report directly to it as a PDF. So you don't have the PDF and attach it to the emails. In this case, it automatically attaches it for you. So moving on to the balance sheet. There's just two versions of it. There's a balance sheet, and then there's one that's this year versus last year. Again, I can skip 0 accounts if I want. I can just round to the nearest dollar, get rid of the pennies. And there it is. This year versus last year. So there's the trial balance sheet. Now we get to income statements, a lot more choices. Just drag this open a little bit here. So income statement, then we have one that's for the current month and year to date, previous versus the last year, actual versus budget, and then one that's 12 months. I don't know if you're going to have departments or not, but if you had departments, you could get a department income statement for each department. I'm not sure you'll need those, but we do have those. So I'm going to show you this one here just real quick. So there's my operating income. I have multiple income accounts that I track. My direct expenses, the equipment and shop operations, and then all my overhead expenses. Okay. And I think you know this, but I'm going to do it anyway. If I want to see how I spent that $1,500, I just double click that. It'll take me there. If that doesn't ring a bell, it's a permit, right? Taxes and license. It'll actually take me back to the transaction that I actually did that with. And it was, in this case, it's kind of a weird vendor, but I wrote that at checkout to Home Depot. Okay. And so I have the ability to do that. This may take a second. I'm going to just take this income statement here, which is the last 12 months. I'm going to dump it out to Excel. I meant to have Excel open before I started, but you'll see how easy this is to export things to Excel. It's a lot easier when you have Excel open. But anyway, it creates the formulas in Excel. A lot of programs will dump your reports to Excel, but don't actually bring the formulas forward, and you have to kind of start from scratch. You'll see that this brings, I won't say all the formulas, but it'll bring most of the formulas over into that spreadsheet, and then you can add or adjust as you need to. So just tons of ways to look at these things in Sage 100. We have right there, there's 5 different versions of the income statement. Obviously, once you dump it out to Excel, you can kind of do anything with it you want. You can drag and drop it. You can kind of do some graphs. You could do some variance reporting that you want to do, or trends. And so you'll see that in a second when all that pops up. So give it one more minute here, and if not, looks like it's getting pretty close here. You'll see how easy this is once you have it open, how you can kind of move the data around and massage it a little bit. So while waiting on that, I don't know if I talked to you about alerts. But we do have an alerting system within Sage 100. Finally did it. There it is. And so here is, I'm going to drag this open a little bit. So that same income statement you just saw a couple seconds ago, but there it is dumped out to Excel, 12 rolling months, direct expenses. So, if I want to come over here and say, hey, given the average, what's the average? What is the last 3 months versus the previous 3 months? You can start adding formulas here. And making those calculations if you need to. You could start graphing this stuff if you want to, but the ability to do whatever you want. But you can see that it brought in the formula here. If I scroll down, it's bringing all these subtotal in there, so you're not going to have to reinsert those formulas. So I think that's important for you because a lot of people like to move it out to Excel. But so period versus year to date, this year versus last year, actual versus budget if you actually enter budgets, and then the last 12 months. And that's the one we use here. We actually, I think I told you, we actually use Sage 100 to manage our business, and that's the one I look at. I like to see that 12-month rolling period. And so, hang on, let me get rid of that. And so the one thing I was just talking about while I was waiting for that to pop up is we have this utilities, and it's called Alerts Mat. Whoops. My mouse not being very kind to me this morning. Alerts Manager. And so in here, these are custom, these are come with the system. So this is the most popular one where it just says, if the job cost exceeds the budget for any specific cost code, send me an email. And you can pick who or how many people are going to get that email. So typically it goes to the project manager, but if the owner is kind of hands-on, anytime a cost code goes over budget, the next morning there'll be an email in their email basket. So that tells them what job and what cost code went over budget yesterday. These are ones that we kind of created for our clients. You know, I want to get an email anytime a change order is over 30 days old, or maybe in your case it's when it's over 7 days old. You tell us. It's really easy to change that. Whenever the checking account goes below a certain threshold, RFIs that were required by today but are not back yet. Another really good one for owners, I'm sure Julie's going to watch this, is anytime a new vendor's added, you'll get an email telling you a new vendor's been added and who it is. You know, more from the accounting side, you set up a vendor, didn't have a 1099 at the time, but you had to set it up to write the check. So it's going to kind of remind you that you don't have that 1099. Another one some of our owners really like is they give people kind of a blanket authority, let's just say up to $5,000 or $10,000 on purchase orders or subcontracts. We can actually send an alert out each night or once a week that just says, hey, these POs were written last week and they exceed $10,000, and this is who they were written to, and this is the job they were written to. They may already be aware of them, but it's just to make sure nothing sneaks by over that limit that they haven't seen. Another really easy, simple one is vendor certificates expire next month. It'll give you a list of those as well in an email. So lots of things, and these are all can be custom written. These are ones I just wrote for some of our clients. And by the way, I am not a consultant. I'm the owner, and I don't do them very often, but they're pretty simple to do. I mean, I could probably do one here on the fly if I needed to, but I'm not going to bore you with the details. But these are pretty easy to set up once you understand their database. Okay. Have any other questions? Give me a call. But those are the financial statements. Tons of them to look at. So there you go. Give me a call, please, if there's anything else you guys need. And I don't mind. Just keep pounding me with the questions. I want to make sure that you're confident in the decision you make to go with Sage 100. I think you will be. I think we've kind of addressed everything you've thrown at us so far. So if you have something else, let it go and have it at us. Thanks.